I just get excited and I buy things. You're gonna, what? I don't know, because I didn't calculate it. This is The Rat by what? Who is this by? I don't know. Probably get, is that right? That can't be right. Hold please. Prohibitive hour. Words. Words. Bring me the words. Hello my friends and welcome to another video. If you are new here, my name is Chris and I make videos about my small crochet business, the Enchanted Skein. And in today's video, we are going to talk about money. I think there can be a fine line between investing and overspending, and there's a lot of uncertainty as a new small business owner when it comes to how much you should be investing in your small business. And I think it's something that we can all relate to. You kind of want to make sure that you're not overspending, but also that you have enough materials to make the things that you want to sell. We all have to spend money to make money in this business because we make handmade goods and you cannot make something out of nothing. I've been giving this more and more thought lately because of two things. Number one, I know I need to modify my pricing on my crochet plushies. I was really brought to that realization when I watched Amanda from Eclectic Scribbles video about that. And the other thing is I know I needed to go back and reevaluate what I was doing with the hook keepers. But I want to use an example that everyone can relate to. So let's just stick with crochet for now. I've heard several crocheters mention that they were at a market and someone would come into their booth inevitably and say, I can make that myself, or I have a friend that crochets, I'll just ask them to make it, which kind of blows my mind that someone would say that out loud. I have not had that happen to me yet. But I wanted to take a quick look at what that would entail. I thought we would take a pretty simple example and use this crochet rat. That person would be totally right. Yes. Anyone can make this. By its very definition, it's made by hand. So it doesn't have to be my hands. Anyone can truly make this. But let's look at what it consists of to be able to make this rat. Let's take knowledge out of the equation. Knowing how to crochet is one thing, having experience is another thing, but let's say this person, maybe they used to crochet or their friend knows how to crochet, maybe they do wearables or something, and they have the actual base knowledge. But to actually create this plushie, they're gonna need materials. First and foremost, you're gonna probably need the pattern. This is the QB Crochet No Sew Rat pattern, and it currently retails on Etsy for $5.50. This plushie is made using Bernat Dappled, and this is in the color charcoal. So to get a skein of this yarn, I want to say at its cheapest, you're going to be looking at $14.99 on Yarnspirations or maybe even Amazon. In addition, you are going to need the color for the tail and the little feet and ears, and this is Mellow Mauve by Bernat Baby Blanket. Yeah. Bernat Baby Blanket. And this typically retails for like $13.99 at Michael's, but I have seen it for as low as around $10. So we'll use $10 as our number for this example. You're also gonna need safety eyes. This little guy has 10mm safety eyes, and the cheapest that I have found a little pack of those for on Amazon is $5.49. You're gonna need stuffing, and the smallest bag of polyfill that I have found is $5.97. And let's say you're gonna get just the basic run-of-the-mill cheapest crochet hook you can grab, and I'm guessing that's probably the one that I saw on walmart.com for $1.97. If you were adding all of that up, you are right about at $43.92. And that is given you found the best deals and you are buying everything tax exempt. For the sake of this, let's say you're gonna need to invest $44 to be able to create even just one of these crochet rats. I currently sell these rats for $12 at my market, so that would mean I would need to make and sell at least 4 of them to be able to just break even on the material costs. So now we know that we need to make and sell at least 4 of these rats using my example price of $12 to break even on materials. Let's talk a little bit about what the materials will yield for you. This Bernat Dappled cake will more than likely get you somewhere between 8 and 10 rats, if I was to guess, just based off of the weight of the completed plushie. You will probably have enough pairs of safety eyes, and you'll have leftover of this Mellow Mauve. That's where the profit starts to come into play. So if we use 10 rats as an example, and you were charging the $12, that would be $120, minus your $44 in material costs would leave you with a net of $76. Now that is before labor. Everyone's time varies based on how long it takes them to make one of these rats, but if you divide that by 10, that's about $7.60 per rat in labor. So if you pay yourself $15 an hour and they take you an hour, obviously your pricing needs to change. So it's just kind of a different perspective on it. We like to look at things as the individual item, which makes perfect sense, but the materials can go a little further. Maybe you're someone who takes this leftover mellow mauve and cranks out a bunch of octos, and you don't need to purchase anything additional to do that, and now you are utilizing this material. Or you're like me and you go and you buy an additional color that coordinates with that so that you can make it into a bunch of dragons, and therefore you have to buy another pattern. And it just kind of continues to snowball from there. What I think is really cool about most of our small crochet businesses is that we didn't have to make a huge upfront investment. It accumulated over time. I can't speak for everyone, but I'm willing to bet that more than likely there isn't someone out there with a small crochet business who was like not doing crochet at all and then was just like, I'm gonna do a small crochet business. And they had to go buy an entire yarn wall all at once and all of the hooks and materials and everything like that. I think most of us have come into this in a gradual way. We either just started as a hobby and it was a hobby we loved and our collection of plushies or whatever was just getting too big for us to keep. Our friends and family don't want any more of them, and we thought, hey, you know, maybe I will give it a try and go ahead and sell some of this stuff. So I think that's one of the really cool things about even just most craft businesses is that there wasn't this huge upfront investment. With that being said, little bits can add up, and if you're not paying attention to it, it can add up to a lot. Editing Chris here. Allow me to interrupt this broadcast program for just a moment because I forgot I wanted to share with you the Happy Mail that I got the other day. I am part of Amanda from Eclectic Scribbles Happy Mail Club, and I received my package and I was very excited and I just opened it and I didn't do it on camera. So I wanted to share with you what's inside though, because I really do love it. Every month is a different theme, and there are different tiers, but I am signed up for the tier that gets a sticker sheet, a sticker, and a coloring page every month. And I just want to share them with you because they're so stinking cute. This is the sticker sheet that I got. This month's theme was like carnival games and carnival food, and it is just adorable. Her artwork is incredible, and my absolute favorite character is Toasty, and they've got their little teddy bear that they won in the carnival, and some cotton candy, and this adorable chonky unicorn balloon. How stinking cute. And the coloring sheet. And I just got in the mail some Ohuhu markers so that I can color this bad boy, and I'm looking forward to every single month having a new coloring sheet. It's just a little quiet time with some analog entertainment, going old school, back to my childhood with coloring. So I could not be more excited for that. I just wanted to jump in and share that with you. I will link to her subscription services below because she didn't ask me to do this or anything like that. I have been a fan of her artwork for a long time. I've talked about it before. All right, now get back to the video. With that, let's talk a little bit about the hook keepers. So when I first came up with the idea for the hook keeper, I wanted one for myself, and I bought whatever beads I wanted. I didn't care about price or weight or anything. It was just what I felt like doing. When I finally came to the realization that this could be something other people could use, that is when I started prototyping officially and thinking about how others might view the product. Was it too short? Was it too long? Blah, 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 blah. So in that prototyping process, I would just go to craft stores, I would go to online shops, I would see beads that looked pretty, I'd buy them, I'd get them. Some of them I really liked, some of them were horrible, some of them would not have worked at all, some I could return, some I could not return. And a lot of little purchases were not tracked at all. And when I did the first launch, I actually just did kind of an average bead cost and an average this and an average that. I didn't look at what each individual color might be costing me or anything like that. I just kind of took a blended average and put 20 of them out there. When I saw that people loved them and I wanted to do this latest drop, I just got excited. I went online and I found more bead colors and I tested different things and bought lots of things. I didn't track any of that either, nor did I stop to think, wait a minute, that bead
is a couple dollars more in a pack than that bead was, or, you know, this hardware costs a little bit more than what I originally put into my estimates. So at the end of the day, when I put all of the numbers together, I was a little bit disappointed in myself for not keeping track of those things. But I'm not upset because I didn't lose money, so that is a good thing, obviously, but I certainly didn't account for things like the time it takes to put them together. I will give you one quick example. One of the most popular colors actually costs me about $15 in materials, and I'm charging $22. So that leaves $7, and that does not account for any labor involved or any of the other business related expenses. So not a very good long-term business model. But I also don't think that it crosses what could be that fine line between investing and overspending. And I think that that's an important thing to remember. Not everything we put out there is going to be a winner and a money maker. That includes plushies. You know, I have plushies that I spent hours on weaving in LED lights, and I put a price on it for that, but I've not sold them. I still don't think of that as an issue because it's not hurting my business and it's not hurting my finances. And I think that's the key in where that line gets drawn, and that's going to be different for everybody. I admire business savvy people who track every penny and are disciplined enough to do that. I kind of thought I was going to be that person because I'm like that with other things like my bills and my, my work. But when it comes to this, I just get excited. I just get excited and I buy things. And I'm okay with it right now because I'm not putting myself in a financial position that is harmful to me. And I think that's the biggest thing to remember. I'm not trying to give anybody business advice by any means. There are people who have risked everything to go after their dream business, and they've been super successful. But I also know there are people out there that have risked a lot and have not been successful. So it's one of those things where I'm just sharing with you the fact that I'm trying to make sure I keep this line in balance. And one of the things I'm going to be doing to do that is I am going to take a full look back at everything from this year. And I'm not going to look at it with a lens of, what did I do wrong or anything like that. I'm just going to look at it from a number standpoint. I truly don't know how much I have spent in my company this year, and I don't know how much I've brought in. I have been so just going that I haven't stopped to do that. And when I do that, I am going to share it all with you. So my goal is to somewhere in the June area, mid-June, maybe end of June, depends on how long it takes, is to do like a full extract of all of my spending, all of the income. I want to let you know where I'm at with all of that because I think there is a big difference between perception in doing some of these small business side hustle things and the realities. I also want to dive into a little bit of diversifying income streams and things like that because I will hopefully by then have something coming in maybe from YouTube. I don't know. I have had some things come in from like affiliate links and things like that. So I think I want to just kind of put all of that together, and I haven't taken the time to do that. So that's what kind of brought this video up. I just started clicking into these realizations of like, I really need to get to doing this because I think it's important for me. And then I want to share it because if it helps you, that's fantastic. And I think that kind of thing is important for us to share sometimes. I know a lot of people are not comfortable with sharing money info and stuff like that, and I totally get it. I am at this point. Will I be forever? I don't know. But I think it's one of those things where, we do a lot of like market recaps and stuff like that, which those are so fun, but they don't always take into account everything that goes into it. So it's like, I can do a market recap and tell you, I made $1,200 at this market this weekend. And people will go, wow, you made $1,200, over 2 days, but it's months and months worth of prep work and things like that. There's so many other moving parts to it, depending on what you do within your business. There are monthly subscriptions, there's software costs, there's hardware costs, there's, all the things. So I just want to kind of get a broad overview so that I can have a middle of the year look back at the first half, make any course correcting that I want to make during the second half, and then at the end of the year, provide you with the same thing so that we can take a look at a full calendar year in business and say, this is what happened. If there's any specific details that you want me to cover in that video, leave it in the comments down below. I have in my mind what I want to go over, but if there's anything that you have in mind, leave it there. That way I can be sure to include it, because again, it's probably going to be mid to late June at the earliest. If you want to hear all of the details as they're happening ahead of that, take a look at my memberships. I share a lot of that behind the scenes stuff, especially with the level 2 over there. I appreciate all the support of my members, and I appreciate all of your support just in watching the video. If you haven't already subscribed, please consider doing so. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.